More later. Only a small part of what the whole lesson was. So.
Sarah and I have known each other for a long time. We went to ministerial class together. So when was that? 2011? I think when we finally finished that. Did I hit something? Drumstick. Play a little drums. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
This has been a beautiful day for lingering, don't you think? How appropriate. I know, the weather is really cooperating with my talk because yesterday really wasn't a lingering day. It was kind of like a busy, active, sunshiny day, and today's kind of a lingering day, so I thought it was kind of appropriate, but it's nice when the weather cooperates. I want to say welcome to the Coptic Center. My name is Susan McFarland, and I have been a minister here since 2011. And I teach self-mastery here. So if you're ever interested in taking some of the master's classes, I'm part of the team that facilitates the self-mastery program. And we welcome you to check that out. I want to thank John and Nancy, as always, for having me. It's an honor and a blessing to be here and to represent the Coptics. Thank you, Linda, for your wonderful, wonderful music. I love it, and I come here just for that most of the time. So thank you, Michael, as always, Master MC. So thank you. Appreciate that. I'm going to start my talk tonight. I'm reading a book called Finding the Gift. It's kind of a morning meditation book. I like to get up in the morning and have a positive reading or something, to start the day out. And this is for October, so this is tomorrow, but it's a good tie into my talk. So I read this morning. I thought, well, that's a perfect little quote. So let's just take a minute and linger over our breath. You can close your eyes or lower your head, your gaze, and just settle in. Linger to some of Tara's words and linger over being here in the Coptic Center and in the energy in this room. Remind me each day that the race is not always to the swift, that there is more to life than increasing its speed. Let me look upward into the towering oak and know that it grew great and strong because it grew slowly and well. And I thought that was a perfect quote for lingering, to go slowly. So this morning, I take yoga from Expressions of Grace up on Northland Drive, Beltline area. I'm from Rockford, and I take a Sunday morning class, and it's a really quiet class. Usually there's only about maybe 2 or 3 people there. Sometimes I'm the only person in the class. So it's kind of a very lingering class. It's not a high energy class. And today, the teacher that I was with has been going to a workshop, and it was on Yin Yoga. And does anyone know what Yin Yoga is? I've been doing yoga for a long time, and I didn't really know what Yin Yoga was either. And I learned today that Yin Yoga is about taking a pose, and it's about working more of your joints than your muscles. And it's about taking poses that you're familiar with and staying in there for longer periods of time, lingering in them. How appropriate is that? So in yoga today, I lingered in a lot of poses, and it was very good. It was very meditative and restful and calming. It wasn't high stress. It was just very peaceful. And the studio that I go to overlooks a lake, and so the rain was coming down and kind of the fog was coming up, and it was just a very nice experience. So if you ever want to try Yin Yoga, I would advise that. So has anyone been to ArtPrize this year? A couple people. Did you see anything interesting that you wanted to linger over, Michael?
Yeah, there was in one of the hallways at the Boss Place, there was all these photos with people holding rope.
Wow.
And they're all connected, different pictures of people all over the world. So it was like the unity of being connected through.
Sounds very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Elise, did you raise your hand?
Yeah, I did. I think probably like one of the most compelling pieces that I saw was at Site Lab. There's a lot of pieces about racial equality. So
Okay.
I felt like it was really important.
Wonderful. And you lingered over it, I imagine. I went to, is anyone familiar, I know you are, with Mick Carlson. So I went to a peace walk with Mick Carlson last week at the Dominican Center with a friend of mine. And he happened to have a piece at ArtPrize. And he's all into St. Francis, which I love St. Francis. And so he had a piece at St. Mark's, which I'd never been to St. Mark's before, and went and saw his piece. And that was definitely a piece to linger over. And St. Mark's is the oldest building in Grand Rapids, built in the 1840s. So I didn't know that either. So that was interesting. So thank you for sharing your experiences at ArtPrize and your lingering there. It's a great place to linger. So let's talk about the art of lingering. Creative expression is a place not to rush about, but one to linger in. Music played, art created, photos captured, paintings drawn, all require lingering. It's hard to linger. It's hard not to linger when you're doing art. Lingering's not easy for me. Tara could probably attest to this. She knows me well. I don't linger. I'm a mother of 2 teenage girls. Lingering really isn't an option, but it's not in my personality either. So it's probably why I'm talking about lingering. I'm always on time. I don't like to be late. It stresses me out. But I have a 15-year-old daughter from Guatemala, and she runs at a much slower pace. She's a lingerer. This is probably why she's in my life, to teach me to slow down. So I have to linger with her. I told her we were going to do a little grocery shopping today. And I said, and she got up at 1 o'clock. She's a teenager, right? So 1:30, I saw her, I think. And I said, okay, if you can be ready in half an hour, we'll leave at 2. I really have to get back by 4 to get ready to go. And at 2 o'clock, she decided to get ready. I'm like, and I always give her extra time. So I'm like, okay, 2:30, we really have to go. So she got out of the door by 2:35, I think it was. So lingering is not easy for me, but let's think about lingering. To some, lingering is static. Does anyone think of lingering as static? Lingering can have a negative meaning, right? If you linger too long someplace, it's not good. One can linger too long with a person or a negative situation. Our culture does not honor and respect lingering. We are not a lingering society. We're very fast-paced, in the moment, gotta go. It is not a quality taught in school. Children today don't understand the art of lingering. They are rushed from one classroom to the next, from one subject to the following. Tests are timed. Society tells them a quick response offers a fast reward. How dare you linger over a question or a problem? I hated time tests. They were terrible. Always stressed me out. To me, lingering is movement. It is mindful and dynamic. It is not static or still. Lingering is savoring, exploring, experiencing. As children, we lingered. I'm sure you all lingered as children. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have electronics. I lingered a lot outside. Love to linger outside. As adults, we don't have time to linger. We have too much to do. Where are we going? Why are we going? What are we doing? Lingering in the moment matters, as it will pass and be gone in a flash. And as my kids reach their teenage years, this is so true, because I'm not sure I lingered over their childhoods, but now I kind of wish I would have a little more instead of rush through it. Soon they'll be gone. Lingering brings the internal forward. Lingering offers insights and understandings that cannot be rushed. So a great example of lingering is nature, right? Do we have any deer tonight? I heard you had deer last week. Yeah. I had deer in my yard yesterday, 3 of them. Seasons linger, right? So September is kind of a lingering month.
September, or July never does, though.
No, July never lingers. So April and September are the supreme lingering months, right? September feels like summer. April lingers in winter, while September holds on to summer. We are annoyed by April's lingering. Does anyone like April's lingering? No, it's still kind of dark and dreary and gray and brown, and winter's not really happening and spring's not really happening, and it's not really my favorite month, but so, April lingers. But we savor September summer hold. So I have a quote from Francis Trollope. The American spring is by no means so agreeable as the American autumn, which we're moving into, thankfully. Both move with faltering step and slow. But this lingering pace, which is delicious in autumn, is most tormenting in spring. So linger can be delicious or tormenting. Nature beckons us to linger. Summer welcomes lingering, and winter repels it. In lingering, we can hear the crow caw. We observe the flower color. We sense the inner feeling, letting it move through us, around us, and past us. Linda, can I use your example that you shared with me today about lingering? So Linda was telling me a story that she was in her kitchen today doing dishes, I think it was, and she looked outside and she thought there was something kind of strange out there and went to go check it out, and mushrooms had appeared overnight, magically.
Oh, wow.
And she lingered and saw them, big mushrooms.
Oh,
So how cool is that? And what is mushroom energy? I don't know. It's got to mean something, so it's good. I'll have to check that out. Where was I? Each moment moves us onward. Without lingering, we can miss the memories. Now you have a memory of your mushrooms, mushroom memories. Wisdom in lingering. Yes, there is wisdom in lingering. Knowledge comes, but wisdom lingers, said Alfred Lloyd Tennyson. Masters linger. I am one of the lingering bad ones, and so do I slink away and pause and ponder and ponder and pause, and do work without knowing why. Not surely for this brief world, and more sure is it not for heaven? Emily Dickinson. Let's linger over that for a minute. Lingering is the pause between the end and the beginning. It is the place and the space in between. It allows reflection, regrouping, and responding. Lingering brings balance to the imbalance. Linger calls out, there is nowhere to go and nothing to do. Linger between breath. Linger over tea. I was having tea before I sat down. Winter is a good time for tea, and I'm a big tea fan. I don't know if you guys are coffee drinkers or tea drinkers or like any warm beverage, hot lemon water, but that's always a good place to linger because you can't drink coffee or tea or hot lemon water quickly, right? You have to linger over it. Talked about lingering in a yoga pose. Yoga is a perfect activity to linger in. It calls for you to linger in. Linger around your goals. What are your goals? I'm sure you all have them. Linger during adventures. Kara's telling me about her adventure to Italy and Greece. I'm sure she did some lingering there. Yes, perfect place to linger. I haven't been to Assisi. I want to go there. Linger with your children, your grandchildren, your animals. We have some cat people here. Do we have any dog people? Yes, linger with your animals. I sat down and had my tea, and guess what jumped on my lap? A cat. My cats don't jump on my lap when I don't linger. But when I do, there they are. It's a beautiful thing. Linger with your friends. I have a couple of friends that I have lunch with every month. And I have a busy schedule, and they have a busy schedule, but we make it a point to have lunch together. Linger with strangers. Linger with the person at Meijer checking you out. Maybe they're having a bad day. It was busy today. I don't think my cashier was too happy. But you know what? We forgot our bagels, and she ran outside and gave us my youngest daughter loves bagels. She's like, are these yours? Linger with strangers. Thank you. Linger with nature. Nature is a beautiful place to linger in. I like to take walks in the woods, and I love to linger in nature. Linger in music. I listen to Hildegard von Bingen. Are you guys familiar with the music from Hildegard from the 15th century? Linda's saying no. Ooh, we got to teach you that. She's, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's beautiful. It's angelic. So listen to that on the way here. We talked about lingering in breath. You can always linger in breath, and breath to me is probably the best place to linger, especially if you're having a stressful moment. Linger with yourself. How many times do we sit down with ourselves and linger with God, Spirit, Creator, the universe, the divine, whatever resonates with you? Lingering too long can cause pain and discomfort. Have we ever been there? I have. Stayed in a few places too long. You will know if you have lingered when lingering is no longer required. You will be able to feel the tugs and pushes forward and onward. If you don't linger, you run the risk of moving too fast, but it is necessary or time to move on. Lingering too little causes stress and disease, and we have plenty of that in this world. Our bodies need rest and relaxation. This is the place and space of lingering. It is, if we do not honor this basic human need, our body, mind, and spirit will let us know. Hamid Bey believes lingering is a place of healing. Hamid Bey states in Lesson 281, emotions and mental patterns of creativeness. An emotional state means that reason is momentarily neutralized. Whether the emotion is positive or negative, positive emotions have the effect of vitalizing and linger with inspiration and creative incentive. They could be the cause of healing. Linger in thoughts and ideas. Linger in compassion. Linger in kindness. Linger in peace. Linger in understanding. Rumi says, your acts of kindness are iridescent wings of divine love, which linger and continue to uplift others long after your sharing. So what is lingering out there that you've put out there? Lingering has long and lasting effects, not only on your personal well-being, but the overall health of others who come into your life. So I challenge you. Find a place, find a person, an event, an idea, or an ideal to linger over and on until you are wise in knowing it's time to move on. Only you know where and how long you need to linger. So live your life lingering. Namaste.